Minutes, students. Really, I started.
बढ़ाबे कहियो पैसा के
Good
लगा
evening.
बढ़ाते हैं।
आप किस उम्मीद रखे हैं इस बार मांग रहा है जरूर मुफ्त पड़ेगा कटवाएंगे मुँह का मामू सामने मुझे कमाते रहो मोहल्ले कोनो हिंदे हो
Good
चोरी घर
afternoon.
की चावल में जगह चावल नमकीन और पाँच तो सोने हम लोग तो पास नहीं है और हम ठीक है तब तक काम मुझे
अभी हम जल्दी उठे काम करके नहीं
Good
काम सुबह
evening.
से भूख लगी
Good
बिहान बिहान
evening.
जल्दी उठबे काम करे के लिए
We'll get
कंप्यूटर
started
सीखे
in a
के
few minutes.
120 का पैसा चला कंद थी मास्टर को
Well, happy New Year to every one of you. Just trying to. We'll be doing notification service using Nilanjan. Today we are going to do notification service. We will complete the notification service code. Using the cron job. Exactly. I noticed you use npm install cron job, but in npm website this is npm icron to install cron. That should be okay. You can try both of any one of them should be fine. Sometimes there are multiple ways of installing the same package. So I noticed it the package name was node cron. I didn't say install cron job. I said install node cron. I wrote this command install node cron. Yes, exactly. So you can use either one of them. I install this npm install node cron. You can also check cron. That should not be a problem.
शादी करते हैं अजय का शादी कर तो होने थी टेंट
Yeah, they seem to be the same. Who will decide the ticket priority? Must it be customer or engineer? Anand, it is usually decided by the person who is creating the ticket, although it can also be updated by any one of the parties. So what happens in these tickets is let me check. Just give me 1 second. Difference between cron and node. Okay, there are 3 different versions of this. Yeah, these are 3 different schedulers.
Kapal.
Kapam.
Kale.
Caligro.
Kale. Mithe.
Yeah.
ऐसे में तो साइकिल का बेटा था.
Just give me 1 second. These are cron job and node cron and node cron are 2 different packages, and they're authored by different people. Typically, you can do the same thing with all of them. The syntax will vary a little. That's what is the crux of that question. Okay, Nilanjan? Okay, Likhit? Yeah. So there are a bunch of packages that do the same thing. There is node cron, that is cron, and there is one more which is called as cron schedule, node schedule. So, I mean, all of them do similar things. They have different APIs. That's all there is to this. Who will decide? I think I've answered this question. Typically, what happens with these tickets is when somebody creates the ticket, they decide a priority. And during the lifetime of the ticket, people can reduce the priority or increase the priority depending on the time that has passed. Sometimes, if very little time has passed, they can also increase the. They can also reduce the priority. Suppose there is a small ticket, but somebody created it for first priority. Then the first person who looks at it can reduce the priority. Similarly, if somebody creates a ticket and it has not been solved for some time, then people can come and increase the priority of the ticket, basically to make it more important. Okay, so that being said, let me start today's class. I think I've discussed the overall architecture of notification service with you. Today I'm going to spend some time talking about the actual code of the service, and maybe if needed, I'll refer back to the overall architecture whenever needed. But I think it will not be needed that much, so I'll not worry about it. First thing first, as is common across all the classes, I'll go ahead and create a new folder for today's class. So I'll just go to Reliable. There is CRM app. Inside CRM app. Inside this is chapter 11. Let me copy this and let me paste it again. And once it gets pasted, I'm going to make it 12 and I'll save the date of today's class. Okay, so it is saved. Now let me come here and rename this to, let me remove this copy from here. Today is 30th of December. 30th of December. And this is 12. And this is insert. Continue. Okay, so far so good. Let me also push these changes of creating a folder. Sometimes I forget about pushing the changes. Created folder for class 12 or lecture 12. Comment to me and that will push the changes. Okay, so this repository has been pushed. I have created the folder. Let's come here and let's open this. So yesterday we just created app.js and it just contained a cron scheduler. Today I'm going to start from setting up the database, and then once I set up the database, I'll start working with the database. So first thing I'll need is first I'll remove this part. I don't need it. Let's require header. First I'll have const server config is equal to require. I don't need server config, so I'll remove this. I only need db config. I'll do require config / db config. Okay. Now I'll just come here. I'll save this and I'll create a new. Will we have to make a new folder for? Yes, you'll have to create a new folder. And I think this is something I discussed last time. You have to create a new folder and do node in it inside, and then install a bunch of apps. You have to install Express. You have to install Node. You have to install Cron. Okay, Karan? I think I wrote that in the README. Let me check. So let me write here. Steps to build the first empty folder. Build the empty folder. What you need to do is first you have to do no npm init. Then you'll have to do npm install node. Npm install Express and cron, node cron, and one more thing you have to install, which is your mongoose. Okay, these two commands, if you write, this folder will get created and the required package, and you'll also have to do .save. Okay. So if you do this, the folder will inside a folder, this folder will get created, and then you can work from there. Let me save this and let me go back to my app.js. It says in the db config, I'll have the configuration file. So I'll come to notification service and create a new folder called as configs. Configs. Inside this folder, I'll create a file called as db.config.js. What am I going to do in this? I'll have module.exports being equal to. So first I'll need db name. Let's create a new database for this. Either we can create a new database or Let me check how we created for that file. So in this we have db config. Yeah, this is good. So I'll just copy this and I'll have a separate database for this. So I'll just come here and paste that. And inside this I'll just write crmd. It should be notification db. No notification underscore db, and this will come here also. Notification underscore db. So far, so good. Now I have my DB. This DB will get created as soon as I run my app.js. After DB config, I'll need const mongoose. For this, I'll just require mongoose, and I'll need express. Const express require express. Okay. Express is coming in a different. Has the Express being installed? Let me check. Yeah, it is. I think it is here. Its value is never right. That's okay. So Express is Mongoose is there. Express is there. I just have to do express dot JSON. So I can do that. So first thing I'll do const app is equal to express. This first, and then I can do app.use express JSON. It's like how I did it for the last app. Express.json. So I'll just come here and do express. Express.json. Like this. Okay. I need express.json and I need to connect to Mongoose. So I'll do mongoose dot connect db config. I'll connect to db config, and in this I'll connect to db underscore URL. Why is this not catching? It should be configs folder. Yeah, I did that. Now let me see. Config dot db URL. Connect to this URL, and if it is connected, the callbacks, there will be two callbacks. First callback is for the success. In case of success, you can just return and do console.log connected to MongoDB, and once we can do that also. We can do it do that way also, but this is also possible. You can just do in parsing. You can have so this connect call can also have callbacks. Okay, so you can do like this as well. There are multiple options for doing the same thing. So you can, if there is a error, which is going to be this one. In case of error, what you need to do is console.log error. Why is this error colon error dot message? Okay, and I just enter here, and that is the connect call. That's all you need to do for the connect. Now the final thing you need to do is app.listen at port number. What port should you listen to? You should listen to 3000, I guess. 3000 is already taken, so we will take 3020. So I'll just write here 3020, 3020, or I'll do 3030. 3030. At 3030, at this port you start listening, and you can see console.log application started the port number. So, port number. Everything seems to be fine. Let me try to run this. Port can be taken up to, yeah. I don't know the specific number, but I can show it to you. What is the range of port? Yeah, it can be from 0 to 6536, and typically 0 to 124 are reserved for privileged services. Don't use anything less than 1024. Try to start from 3000 and upwards. Okay. Maximum range is this only that you shared, Nilanjan. Yeah. Thank you for the question. Let me see what is this? Just close this. Okay, so far so good. Let me start the app on this. Come here and do CD12. Inside this, I'll do node app.js. That is the problem. Cannot find module Express. That's what I was thinking. Express is not installed. So I'll just come here and do npm.install Express. I was thinking I have installed it, but maybe I have not installed. So I Express and save, and it will get installed in few minutes. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to run the code again. And fine, it is running at port 3030 and connected to MongoDB. Okay, so that's how you can create an app. Install Mongoose also. I did that before. Previously, I have installed Mongoose. I can show you in the package.json. In packet.json, there is Express, Mongoose, and Node-cron. What is DB name? Notification DB. DB name is notification DB. This one. Okay. Correct? Yeah. So that is the config. Now let's start from the model itself. And first we create the model, and then we can fill up everything else. Node module folder comes from Express. Yes, no, it comes from, not from Express. It comes from any module that you install. Any module that you install gets saved in the node modules folder. For example, if you install Mongoose, it gets saved here. Okay. So first let me define the model. I'll define a folder called as models. Inside models folder, I'll define a file called as ticket notification model. Ticket notification model.js. I guess that is the name of the file. Model.js and okay. Let me close this. Let me close this. This. Save. Let me close this. Close this. Ticket drop. Yeah. So I come here and ticket notification. Let's talk about what we want to save in the ticket notification service. First of all, we'll need Mongoose to start. Mongoose require. This is different from ticket. It is ticket notification. What is the notification you want to send about the ticket to somebody? Try to ask this question to yourself. Ticket notification schema. In this schema, I'll have new mongoose.schema. Enter. First, we'll need subject. What is the subject? Is think of it like an email that you need to send. So every email has a subject. I'll make it as required, as true, and I'll just copy this part. First of all, I'll create a comma here. Subject is always required in your ticket. There will be a ticket ID. This ID will come from the ticket that is getting updated. Why are we creating this schema? So we have a model. That is going to save our notifications. Okay. So we are building this notification service, which is going to receive notifications from the CRM app and then send it across to the users whosoever you want it to send to. Okay. Before sending a notification, you will first save it into a database. And for saving into the database, we are creating this schema, which is ticket notification schema. We are going to use this schema to create the model for ticket notification. Does that make sense, Nilanjan? Hello? It will send email to users? Yes, exactly. It will send this. This will be the email. Think of it like an email. Ticket notification is an email that you are sending to the user. Exactly. It will send. It will pass the email to the Gmail engine, and then the Gmail engine will send it across. Okay. Receive in email. In emails. This is also. You can have multiple emails, so I'll have to write it as a list of strings. Whosoever who should get the email. So we don't need to send manually. It will send an email. Yes, exactly, Nilanjan. Whenever there is a change in the database, whenever there is somebody who changes the ticket, all the stakeholders will get a notification about it. So if a customer changes the ticket, both engineer will get the notification. If engineer changes it, the customer will get the notification. And typically, the admin will also get notified about it. Yeah, that's why we have this. At the recipient address, we'll have sent status. and the status will also be string unrequired. But there is one more thing that is there. There will be something as default value, and default value will be unsent. I'll talk about what can be the other values in just few minutes. And requester. This is a optional field which is of type string. There can be a requester who is requesting a string. Is requesting a call. Okay. So now created at line 17. There can be more than one recipient. So line 17 says type is a list of strings. Okay. Yes. Why unsent? Because by default a notification will be unsent. When the cron job takes notifications from the database and send it across to Gmail, then only the notification will be sent. Okay. Otherwise it will be unsent. Created at. This is again something you have seen before also. A type date will be date type and it will be of type date. It will be immutable. Yeah, I added that. At line 26, are you saying? Line 26 is. I'll save this and it will add all of them. Unsent again, please. Current unsent is because unsent means it is not being sent yet. Once I send it, what it means is I save all the unsent messages in my database, and then every 30 seconds I query my database for all the unsent messages and send them across to the email client. And the email client is going to send it to the respective users. Yeah. Immutable is, say, true. And default within brackets return it dot now. Okay. Just created it. There's also updated it. It will be again a date type of date. And default will be again a function from the argument list to return date. Are we giving default as a function? Date.now may not work because you have to run a code. That might only take a static value. Okay. Date is created at doesn't provide time in our date time zone. Instead, we can write once new date and return date to string to get time zone in our Indian time zone. Yeah, that is a update you can have. That is an extra feature you can have, Nilanjan. Okay. Why give a function to? Oh, that is nice, Nilanjan. That's a nice addition. You can only have static values as values, or you can have functions. I don't think you can do something like this. Let me check. It dot now. No, this probably will not work. It will save the right now date. Like when this code is getting executed, it will save that date to it. For example, if I run this code at the start of the month, then the start of the month the date will be saved at all the places. Okay. It will not save date.now for the current date. Whenever you start the server, that date will get saved as default. Does that make sense, Likit? Hello? There is no difference between created at and updated at. Created at is immutable. So it cannot be changed. Once you first create the ticket, it will not get changed. Uh, and otherwise there is no. How will it query for unsent messages every 30 seconds? It will run a cron job. Every 30 seconds, fetch all the messages that are unsent and try to send them across. That's all the purpose of cron is. Okay. Try to look at the database. Multiple messages will be in this database. Yes, that is true. So Abhijit, what we'll do is we'll just run a cron job that is going to find many messages such that the send status is unsent. Take those messages and then what you do is you send them to the email service and mark them as sent. DB structure I'm not getting. Yeah, DB structure is this only. It is just think of it like an email, Abhijit. DB contains only one collection, which is ticket notification. This ticket notification contains a subject, a ticket ID, content, recipient email address, the sent status of this, the requester, and the created at. Okay? And the subject will contain things like the ticket got updated because of this, or some kind of message will be there. There can also be a body if you want, but this is mostly what we have. Okay? There can be an optional body in the schema. Is the structure you are getting now? Then which field will contain the multiple message part? This is one message. There will be multiple messages like that. This is the collection and this is the schema of the collection. Which will recipient email in array. Yeah, recipient email in array means that I can send it to two people. If I am sending it and I want to notify the engineer as well as the admin, then there will be two email addresses that we need to send. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Arad. So Abhijit, what I'm saying is try to think of it as a single document. There will be multiple documents like this. Why not keep one ticket's multiple messages together? That is not a good idea because or you can get all the messages in one go by searching based on the ticket ID. That you can do. But you don't send all the messages every time there is an update. Okay? You send only the latest message to all the people. Therefore, what you need to do is you need to just keep the notification single. Subject versus content. Subject is only going, so if you have ever sent an email, you first send the subject and then you write the content for the email address. So that's why there are two things that you can have. Think of it like an email address basically. So this is how the email address look like. And finally, I can come out of this and write module dot content will contain multiple messages, right? Content will contain only the description of the message. For example, it will contain what has happened. Like when you send an email, it does not contain multiple messages. Content contains what is the overall message you have, the description of the message. Yes, exactly. Module.export is equal to mongoose dot model, and this model is called as ticket notification, and the schema is ticket notification schema. Very simple. So we are done with the model. We have created the model for our app. Any questions on the model? Now we can go ahead and for model we are going to create. Now is a good time to create the controller, and then we'll do rest of the things. There are only two controllers that I need to create, and I'll create them just now. I mean, there is only one controller with two functions, so I'll just it is a model for a notification, not notification system, right? That's why it contains one message. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. It is a ticket notification schema. It is not the ticket notification system. Yeah. Okay. So this model is always for a single collection, a single document inside the collection. That's what a schema is about. Okay. So I come here and I define another folder, say known as controllers. Controllers. Inside the controllers folder, I define a file called as ticket notification controller. Ticket notification controller. Should it be controllers? Controller.js. Okay. Now in this, I need to I'll define two functions. First of all, I'll need the ticket notification model. So I'll just do ticket notification model. And where do I get it from? I do require models / notification model. Okay. And then you can do exports dot accept notification request. Accept the notification request. That is the first function you can have. There are only two functions. Either somebody can call this API to give a notification and say, please send this notification across to the email service. That is one use of this notification service. Or the second use is, okay, I have given you a notification few minutes back. Can you tell me what is the status of that notification? Those are the only two use cases here. Do you see that? Do you see the only two use cases that we have? Hello? Either I can receive a notification or I can export dot get for a given notification. Yeah. These are the two things we can have. Either I can accept notification request, this function, this controller adds a new notification, new unsent notification to our team. Okay, this is the first function. The second function that you have is this controller tells the client, this is the client, the current status of a notification. Those are the only two functionalities that you have. Okay. Can you repeat, explain the accept and get notification? Yes. Hariyanan, what I am saying is, when CRM app calls when our CRM app calls a notification service, what are the two things it needs? It can either say to the notification service, hey notification service, could you please send this notification to this user? Either that is one request, or the second request is, oh, I told you to send this notification. Can you tell me what is the status of this? Those are the only two things that a CRM app can do with this notification service. Does that make sense, Ariel? Yeah. Service and API is the same. Yes. Service and API is typically the same. Sometimes services can be a little different, but mostly you can think of them as same. Service is the internal thing that is running, and API is the interface between you and the service. You can think of it like this. Send notifications, notification function will be in here. Yes, exactly, Likit. That is correct. We'll have similar function in the notification app. Okay, so now I'll just do async. In this we'll have a request and a response. And how does this look like? First, we'll need a const notification object. Inside this notification object, we'll have few things. First is the subject. Request.body.subject, comma. We'll have content. Sometimes the content might be undefined, but request.body.content. Recipient emails and request.body recipient emails. Requested body requester, and then ticket ID. Sorry, request.body.ticket ID. So far, so good. Now what we are going to do is, yes, click it, that is correct. What you wrote is correct. Now we'll do try, and all we do is const notification is equal to await ticket notification model dot create notification object. And once the notification object is created, all we need to do is result.status 200.send 200.send. And here we can say request ID notification.ticket ID. Send the ticket ID, and then you can do status as accepted request. Very simple. Create an object and send it across. If that is not there, then catch the error, and you can just do console.log error while accepting a notification request, and this I'll just do error dot So that's how you can define the first function. Very simple. Create an object and add it to the notification database. Is there any doubt about the accept notification request controller? Very simple. Now, by this time, you should be very familiar with, really familiar with. Sir, no result.send in catch block? No. You will not send anything if Maybe you can send. That's a good idea. That's actually a good idea. Thank you, Harian. We can have result dot status, and we can send 500, and I can send message to the internal server. Okay, happy, Harian? That's one. There will always be going to be another function, which is the get notification status function. But I'll write this function later. Let me first run the app so far. Like let me add the controller, let me add the router, and let me try to run this app so far. Okay. Can you show the model once? I can show that. Here is the model. There is content, there is subject, there is ticket ID, there is recipient email, sent status request. Yes. I cannot show the whole model in one go, but okay. Now what I'm going to do is before writing this part, I'm going to create this part and run it. So controller is done. I'll come here and create another folder which is called as routes. Inside routes folder, I'll have a file. What is this? This is chapter 12. Let me reduce this. Yeah. Chapter 12. Inside this, there is routes. Inside routes, I create a file, and that file is called as ticket notification route.js. Ticket notification route.js. Okay. Inside this file, I'm going to define very simple const notification controller is equal to require controllers / notification controller. And then all you need to do is module.exports is equal to function app.post. Let me give the URL for this notification. I can write it as notify server / API / notification. And for this, I am going to do notification controller dot accept notification request. So that's how my router gets defined. Once the router is defined, I can come to app.js and import the router. Without even importing the router, I can just directly write it like this. Require dot routes / ticket route. Get this and send the app to it. Okay, so now my router is working. My app is listening to 3030. I can save this. My router is working, my controller is working, and my model is working. It's like live. IIFE. What is that? Is it like live? I didn't get you. IIFE. What is IIFE? IIFE. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. That is what it is. The require function is very similar to what you're talking about. Yeah. This require function here is similar to immediately invoked functional expression. Can you give me an example of a function that does not get invoked as soon as it is defined? Can you give an example, counter example of IIFE? A function that is not IIFE. This callback function. Think of this callback function. It is not an immediately invoked function expression. It will be invoked after some time. Okay. So that's the difference between IIFE and this function. Anyways, so I've defined my router, I've defined everything. Now I'll just come here and run the app, Control C, and run the app one more time. What is the error? Index.js 161 router index.js cannot add property next. Object is not extensible. App.js. Let me check. No, go down. Close. There's some problem with this router. Routes.app. I did post. Let me save this. Did I put a comma or something? Shin controller. Okay, let me just unsave that thing. There is a problem. Cannot add property next. Object is not extensible. Add app. Express. Am I missing something? I'm defining express. What is this? What is this? This. Yeah, there was some extra quotation mark somewhere. Therefore, it was causing a problem. Now it is running fine. Now, what I will do is I'll open Postman and show it to you how to add a ticket notification. It is running on 3030. So let me close bunch of. I want to do is I want to save this. Request name. I want to save all of them to a collection, but I'll just close them for the timing. I don't mind. Maybe in future I'll have some problem, but right now I'm closing every one of these. Okay. Empty workspace. Now let me create a new request, which is localhost 3030 /notif service /API /notifications. And I'm just sending it. I'm not sending anything in the body right now. I'm just sending this, and it is saying an error occurred, cannot get notification. This is not a get one. This is a post request. I'll send it again, and it is saying internal server error. So it is working fine. Now let me add a body to it, a raw body. I'll just remove this. It is post. Yeah, it is post. It should be JSON. Yeah. In JSON, what do I need here? Let me check. First, I need a subject. So I'll define here subject. Should be inside quotes. Subject. Take it. Updated by engineer, and then ID. Let me give a ticket ID, say 1, 2, 3, 4. Ideally, it should be a number. Content of the email. Your ticket has been updated. Let's see. Emails. In this, I'll send an array of xyz@gmail.com. I'll have another one, abc@gmail.com. Okay. There should be a comma here as well. Secret email. There can also be a requester. Let me call that requester to be unsure. That's all we need. Let me check in my controller if these are all the things I needed. Body, recipient, content, requesters, ticket ID. Ticket ID is there, requester, body, content, recipient. Everything is here. Now I can send this request. I just come here and send it as post. And it says that request ID 1234 and request has been updated, accepted. So working very well. There is no problem in the app. Okay, any questions about this notification app? Very simple app, adding something to the DB and notifying user once that is being added. Nothing else is happening here. Let me save this. Post notification, and can I have a new collection which is called as notification service? I'll create this. Inside this, I'll post notification. Okay. This is one example. Let's go back to our code and see what we have. Let's revise what we have learned today. Error while accepting notification request. Notification validation failed. Subject is required and it was not passed. So when the first time it failed, it was like there were a bunch of things that were required, but it was not passed, so it failed. But once we passed those things, it started accepting. So now app is done. I'm going to close app. I'm going to close. So router is where we start. We send the notification to this notification controller. Notification controller creates an object and adds that to the model. And once it gets added, it says that accepted request. Otherwise, it says there was an error. And model is like this, which we have created. Okay. Now, one thing that will be very much fun is to just look at the uh, Mongo Compass, Mongoose Compass, and try to see if we have the notification DB. And what? Let's see what we can do with the DB. So we are going to connect here. I cannot reduce it further. So I'll just remove. I need to control minus on this. Now I should be able to reduce it. No, I'm not able to reduce. If I will control this. This is not going below. This is not going below this. I connect to this server. And now I have notification DB, which contains ticket notification. And this is the ticket that we have. Anshul has sent, it is unsent, and these are the created and the updated time. And version is also there. So that's what I was talking about, creating a simple app. So what's array? What's array? Array is a list of strings. Sorry, I closed that. I should not have closed that. It's an array of receiver emails. Compass. Okay. It's the email. It's the list of emails for which we are sending it. Let me connect here. I come here and look at the list. Click here. This array is recipient email. If I click on this, I should be able to see if I just click here and click on recipient email. It should be an array, but it is not coming up. Email is provided. Email is of course provided. But let me see it in array. And recipient. It is an empty list. Maybe I provided the wrong spelling. Let me check on my let me check in the Postman. What have I provided? Recipient. It should be recipient. I guess that is the right spelling. No, RECIE. CEI. PIENT. Yeah, now if I send this, I have to update the ticket. So maybe 345. And if I send this one more time, and I go back to my Mongoose, there should be 2 columns. So if I just come here and refresh, this is the ticket 345. Am I writing it correctly? I'm just give me 1 second. Let me save here. This is correct. Let me go to my notification service. Go to notification. Sorry, controller. In this, let me see the recipient emails. Should be this. Should be this. And now it should work out well. In model also. Yeah. Let me see in the model. Model notification model. Here I have written the correct spelling. Those 2 places I wrote the wrong spelling. This is the reason why my school teacher used to get angry with me. I used to write correct spelling at few places and wrong spelling at few places. And he was always like, why are you writing different spelling at different places. So yeah, let me write this. Updated the ticket by engineer again, and 3456. Come here and send it again, and I go to Mongoose, and I refresh this, and now I have recipient emails. If I click on this, I get the 2 emails that I have sent. Very nice. I'm going to delete the previous 2 files. One is this one. I delete this, and the other is this one. Delete this. So that's recipient email. Now we are going to take a break. I'm going to push the changes to the GitHub repo. Added post control. Huh? Huh? Okay, students, let's take a short break now. Okay. We'll come back from. We'll come back at. Sir, you also for it. Yeah. That is true. No, my brother came for something else. I don't know what he came for. Break till 9:30, 36. See you at 9:36 p.m. Okay. I already pushed the code, Likit. I have pushed the code. No, I have not pushed. Let me check. Oh, I have pushed the code. The code is there. You can work with the code, and once we come back, we'll start sending the emails. Okay. See you at the end of 18 minutes. Bye, everyone.